Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma is a spin-off title in the Rune Factory series for some reason. I don't know how it's a spin-off when there's a character from the previous game here all grown up, meaning the timeline progress. It's, what's the word, sequel? There are lots of there are also tons of callbacks to the previous game, so it's still a spin-off? What are you talking about? Anyways, you play as either Subaru or Kaguya, but the main story remains exactly the same except for how the characters interact with each other. It's pretty great, honestly. And yes, amnesia and all that, of course. Oh, Rune Factory, never change. Actually, please change. Please get back on the treadmill of continuously improving your games, please. Sorry about that. Rune Factory 5 flashbacks. Right, focus. So you play as the amnesiac protagonist, help around town and do stuff. What I really like about this game is that there's absolutely no hurry to do anything. You can just take your time, although a lot of the dungeons are hard locked unless you actually progress through the main quest. I also noticed that there are a lot of cutscenes sprinkled here and there. Fortunately, you can just skip it and they're not overly long to the point of being annoying, so that's a massive plus. Once you go to sleep, you get a dream where a mysterious voice tells you that you need to save this village because you're an earth dancer, which is totally, completely different from an earth meet, guys, I swear. And you just go along with it because what else is there to do? Then you meet a woolly sidekick who is actually a dragon in disguise. Then a massive black dragon suddenly attacks the village, but an airship engages the black dragon and forces it to retreat. And wait, who's that pink fluff? Oh my god, it's Hina from Rune Factory 5, and she's all grown up. Wait, how is this a spin-off? Anyway, now that that's established, you do quests, attack the people, but instead of traditional Rune Factory method of aggressively handing presents to townspeople, this game introduces a choice system. You can choose to tell a joke, talk about family or whatever, just to increase their heart or friendship meter. While I do like the variety, it begs the question, what's the actual point of crafting presents anymore? Sure, giving gifts is technically faster for leveling up their affection meter, but if a gift isn't one of the dialogue choices, are we just supposed to pull up a walkthrough online to guess the correct responses? That's a little annoying, but manageable. Time to farm, and honestly, I love it. You can choose to farm in a standard third-person mode, or you can switch to a classic overhead view. The absolute best part, time completely stops when you're using the overhead mode. It's awesome. It makes tilling the soil, planting, and watering crops incredibly convenient, and you save up more time. And you get a massive plot of land to work with this time around. The reason the map is so huge is because you are actively encouraged, well, required, to construct functional buildings like a salt house or flower cart. Every single time you build something new, the overall village level increases. Eventually, you'll get villagers who move in to help you manage the workload. But a word of warning, you absolutely need to check their stats before letting them stay. I literally had to kick out one old man because he had straight negative stats, a lazy work ethic, and ate way more than he actually contributed. Go mooch off someone else, man. I don't care if you're dying of old age. This is a high efficiency farm. To avoid major spoilers, I'm gonna skip ahead to the part where you finally finish setting up this current village. Your woolly sidekick basically looks at you and says, hey, there are other villages suffering out there, so let's go. But the great part, you can actually choose to stay and keep managing your current village or leave right away. There's no hassle, no rush, just take your time. I love it. If you do finally decide to pack your bags and head to the next destination, you jump on the back of your woolly sidekick who transforms back into a dragon and fly around this massive open expanse full of floating land masses. It honestly reminds me a lot of Whale Island from Rune Factory Frontier. Once you arrive at the next village, it's a case of same problem, same solution. You solve a bunch of community issues, complete quests, unlock brand new farm, to fill with crops and buildings, raise the local village level, meet new characters, and of course, kick out the useless villagers. The game lets you hop back and forth between your unlocked villages whenever you want. You can either physically fly there on your dragon or just fast travel instantly, which is incredibly convenient. By the way, if you completely ignore the main quest markers for a second, you'll notice the sky is absolutely littered with floating islands. While some of the major story islands are locked behind barriers until you progress, there is absolutely nothing stopping you from exploring the rest of the open skies right out of the gate. Case in point, I was flying around completely randomly and stumbled across a hidden island packed with golden crops. I immediately harvested them, brought them back to my farm, planted them, and just crossed my fingers hoping for more seeds to drop. The game didn't tell me to do that. It wasn't tied to a quest line. It was just pure reward for curiosity and organic exploration, and I absolutely love it. While it's true that your assigned villagers will take care of the crops for you, you can still roll up your sleeves and help them out manually if they're moving too slow. It feels like a massive upgrade over Rune Factory Ties of Destiny, where the farming was entirely automated by your tamed monsters and you couldn't really do it yourself. This core template carries over into the third and fourth villages as as well. And honestly, they absolutely nailed the addictive gameplay loop here. The combat is also awesome. You get access to a bunch of different weapons like the standard sword or my personal favorite, the bow and arrow. The dual blades take a bit of time to get, but they're definitely worth the effort. But I'll be blunt. If you played plenty of action games like Dragon's Dogma, Dark Arisen, Dark Souls, God of War, the PS2 games, the combat of this game isn't really unique or remarkable. You can dodge, and if you time it right, time slows down, which gives you plenty of opportunity to wail on the enemy. But the controls are quick and responsive, so that's a plus. From there, it's just pure satisfying gameplay. Exploring dungeons, continuously looting every single item off the ground, and mining for rare ore. If you ever get a little bored of the grind, you can just head back, check on your farms, upgrade your villages, or chat up the local townsfolk to increase your affinity levels. Look, while the overarching story tries to manufacture this urgent, oh no, the world is ending, we need to hurry crisis, you don't actually have to hurry at all. That cataclysmic black dragon looming outside my house can absolutely wait while I sit inside and cook up a fancy new bowl of ramen. I love it. No rush. The dungeons themselves are big as hell and absolutely teeming with monsters to beat up. If you happen to find yourself getting overwhelmed, the game gives you a great workaround. If you've been actively leveling up your friendship meters with the townsfolk, you can literally equip them with high-tier weapons and invite them to party up with you. That way, you can drag your in-game wife into a dangerous cavern, show off what an absolute stud you are, and aggressively spam healing items in the background just to keep both of you alive. Hey, that's what true masculinity looks like. Don't look at me like that. Honestly, this might be the absolute best game in the Rune Factory series when it comes to balancing peak cozy vibes with kicking major ass. Oh damn, never mind. I finally found something to absolutely hate about this game. Crafting and forging? Yeah, they completely changed it, and honestly, I hate the new setup. Instead of independently hammering away at a forge inside your own house, you have to take your hard-earned materials to the town shops and pay them a fee to actually execute the upgrades. You still level up for your forging skills for some reason, even though you're not the one doing the forging, but losing that independent home crafting grind hurts. Am I really that much of a weakling that I can't even wield a crafting hammer myself? My masculinity stocks are plummeting here. At least they let me keep me cooking inside my own house. Small victories, I guess. Another thing, I've seen people online trying to compare this game to Genshin Impact. Now, I've never actually played Genshin because I absolutely despise the gacha business model and RNG hell, but what did make me lose my mind here is that there is a 7th bachelor and bachelorette available, except you can only romance them if you buy the DLC. What kind of corporate nonsense is that? Why are core romance options hidden behind the paywall? Is the studio just testing the waters to see which characters they can get away with exploiting? Fuck you, man. I mean, look, at least it's not random gacha pulls, and sure, I completely hate this practice and absolutely did not want to support it, but I bought it anyway because I wanted to see Pilika and Koilang stories. Fuck. Now, you might notice that I haven't deeply broken down the individual townspeople in this video. That's not because I don't like them or anything. It's actually the exact opposite. I genuinely enjoy the cast so much that I don't want to spoil a single thing about the personal arcs. They're all uniquely charming. Sure, they might not be quite as beautifully unhinged as the absolute lunatics running around Rune Factory 3, but they carry this incredibly relaxing ancient Asian mythological aesthetic that just works perfectly. Though, if I'm being entirely honest, I have to give a quick shout out to Matsuri. I love her so much. She's just so energetic, vibrant, and delightfully loud. I constantly keep her in my party because on top of having a great personality, she hits like an absolute freight train. And at the end of the day, this has easily become my favorite Rune Factory game for the time being. Yeah, I still hate that I can't manually forge my own weapons, and yeah, hiding romance options behind a DLC paywall is garbage behavior, but the actual moment-to-moment gameplay speak comfort gaming. So when the story frantically looks at me and screams, "The world is collapsing, we need to save the universe immediately," I just look right back and say, I'll save it right after I make a sandwich. Oh, by the way, this isn't even related to Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma, but this really is relaxing and comforting and, peak cozy gaming vibes. But for some fucking reason, Atelier games, which are supposed to be peak and cozy and shit like that, are way more stressful because of time management and all that crap. Like, I fucking hate that. Like, it exudes, it looks like a fucking cozy game, yet it's so fucking stressful because of the shit that you have to do with it. Oh, sorry. It's a ramble for another day.